Unique Mecca Audio, man. Let me tell you about the night I got arrested and how I felt when I got arrested. All right? Make sure you subscribe to these videos. Subscribe and like. Now, I'm on 8th Avenue, 155th Street, Frederick Douglass Boulevard. I'm driving down the street. I'm in my new Lincoln Town car. You know, TV in the dashboard, TV in the back, VCR. Not saying none of that to brag, just showing you the picture of what time it was. So I'm in the new Lincoln. I just got it, tinted windows. I'm riding down the street. I'm going back and forth, you know what I mean? Because I'm looking for somebody. One of the homies told me, man, get out of there, get out of there. You know what I mean? He knew what was going on because the feds was out there showing my picture, looking for me and things like that. So now I'm driving down the street and I see a unmarked car coming towards me, but on the other side of the street, but I'm going the speed limit because, you know, when you get money, you ain't speeding up and down. You want to drive slow so they can see your money. You know what I mean? And I kept going past up my record store, Mecca Audio, made a left on 150th. When I pulled over at the corner, you know, they, swamped the car. About 5 different police cars blocked the block in, came up from the one way, so I couldn't go further, came from the back. They jumped out and they asked me to show them my ID. I pull out my ID and I show them my ID. And my ID is, a Spanish name. I handed it to them. They took it, looked at it, they threw it back in my face and said, we know who you are, Unique. We got a gas chamber for you down in Virginia. You know what I mean? Then another police that arrested me over the summer, that was in June '93, because this was when I got arrested over the summer, and this is December 10th, 1993 now. So he came over to identify me to make sure it was me. So he looked, he said, yeah, that's him. They took me down to the police station. You know what I mean? All they kept talking about was a gas chamber in Virginia. You know, that was the scare tactic, trying to blow a man's mind so that, you know what I mean? He wound up trying to work with him and not get the gas chamber, but I'm not really paying none of that no mind because I already knew, no disrespect. I knew I was a criminal. You know what I mean? So I knew this was a part of the game. You know what I mean? You're going to get caught one day, you know what I mean? And you got to deal with the Grim Reaper and deal with the consequences. That's the way I was raised. But then now, so they bring me to the police station and it was me and my cousin and my man was in a car also. They put them in 2 separate cells, put me in a cell by myself because they kept talking about, oh, you getting the gas chamber, so you got to go over here. You at the top of the indictment. You got a kingpin charge, da-da-da-da. So when they put me in there, they leave the door. They act like they closed the door, but they didn't close the door. You understand what I'm saying? And, this 132nd and between 7th and 8th. You know what I mean? So at the 32nd precinct. So they got these big old ass windows that's there. Cause all the money police station get, they don't remodel the police stations. They got them old school windows you pick up. So right across from the cell, they had this big window. And, they got me in the joint. So I know the door is open and I'm thinking, damn, I should just run and jump out the window. It was only the 2nd floor. It wasn't nothing. I done jumped off a 6-story building. So that wasn't going to be nothing. So I'm thinking about it. But then I'm like, nah, I'm going to just fight it because bottom line is, that's just going to make it worse. And I feel I could pay my way to get out of it because, with state charges, you spend your money on a lawyer, whatever, and you good. You know what I mean? So this is what I'm thinking, So I stayed in there, my man and the other kid, and I'm telling them my thoughts. You know what I mean? I'm like, yo, the window's open. I'm about to make a run for it. You know what I mean? And he's like, nah, don't even do that. Don't even do that. We just going to fight it. Because I'm with men. My cousin and my man that got arrested with me was on some man time. They said, nah, we're going to fight it. We're going to wait, see what happened tomorrow. So now we just turn around and we look at each other in the next cells next to each other, you know what I mean? Because where it was at, they had like a mirror, you know what I mean, right ahead where you could kind of see. And I see a shadow in the corner of the hallway. So I know they in the corner waiting for me or hoping that I would come out the cell so they could shoot me. You understand what I'm saying? And my man kept saying, yo, you don't see that shadow right there? You know what I mean? So I laid down, played it cool. They took me down to MCC, downtown. That night, me and my man, early morning, we go in there. They open up the indictment. They said it was a secret indictment, 36-count indictment. So they opened up the indictment. They called my name. My cousin and my man's name wasn't on it. So they let them go from the courtroom, but they held on to me, brought me in. And then now they're trying to send me, down to Virginia to go see the judge. But the case was so weak, they gave me a bail. You know what I mean? But in the feds, it's called a signature bond. It's not a cash bond. Somebody got to either have a job that worth the $100,000 bill they gave me, or they got to have property worth $100,000. That's the only thing they took in the feds back then. I don't know how they doing it now. That was back in '93. So when they did that, now I'm sitting there, and my lawyer said, he'll pay it. He went to sign it. You know what I mean? Then they ran and came and said it was a detainer. They had to bring me down to Virginia, so they kept me there. And I stayed up there for about a week. Then they sent me up to Otisville, hold over, because I ain't had no more court dates in New York. And, the whole time I'm just thinking like, yeah, I'm going to beat this. I'm going to beat this. I got a little charge. I kept talking about, man, it's a little, when people ask me, yo, what you locked up for? I'm saying, man, I got a little CCE charge, and I run into my man, kid I know from up in Boston that got picked up before me, that already was down there a year or two fighting it, you know what I mean? Sly Green, you know what I mean? From Buffalo, you know what I mean? So Sly Green up there, and he telling me, man, I got the same thing. That joint ain't no little nothing, man. Them people trying to railroad you. They bring you down there on that. That's the biggest drug charge you could get. And he waking me up to what it is, but I'm still convincing myself to be able to deal with it mentally. That, man, it's a little CCE. You know what I mean? It's like, man, ain't nothing like no little nothing. You know what I mean? So I'm like, oh man, so I ain't even tripping. So they sent me down there to Virginia. I get down there to Virginia, and the whole ride down there with the marshals, because they drove from New York to Virginia. They just kept talking about this gas chamber and how, only way to help yourself is to tell this and that. So I kind of just tuned them out, cussed them out. So they said, oh, you one of them. That's what they called me, one of them. You know what I mean? I said, nah, I ain't one of nothing, man. You know what I mean? So they bring me down there, and I get down to Virginia, and they take me to a post office, like I said in another video, and dude come in with a black robe and, you know what I mean, putting the joint on, call my name, hit a gavel and said bail remanded, because they gave me a $100,000 bail in New York that my lawyer was signing for, but they wouldn't let me out because of this other Virginia joint. So they take me down there, and I go in the cell, and they take me back to the jail. And when they take me to the jail, it's only like 8 people in the pond. I run into my man, L from the Bronx, good brother, down with butt naked and all that, good solid brother. He was getting, when I went down there, he was going to trial. So every day, they taking me down there to get my arraignment and all at the courthouse, and they taking him, to go to his trial. So every day they bring our clothes out for us to put on, and my man coming out with a Armani suit. You know what I mean? He coming out with the Versace suit. He got all nothing but top-notch flavors. Elvis get money. You know what I mean? For the Bronx. He doing his thing. But, every day he had on a fly suit with gators, nice tie to match. You know what I mean? So I said to him, damn, son, why you get dressed up like that every day? You don't let them people know you was getting money. He said, man, you going to get found guilty anyway. We down here in Virginia, Commonwealth. But, he said, man, we're going to get so much time. This is going to be the last time I'm going to be able to wear this suit. So I'm going to make sure I look good and enjoy my last time wearing a suit for a couple of decades. So he was one of the ones that first woke me up that, man, you're going to be in here for a minute. Because he was already in the system, fighting the thing, and saw what was going on. So he knew how it was going to play out. So he said that was going to be the last time he was going to wear it. Because every day he had on a different suit with different color, endangered species on his feet. You know what I mean? Fly brother, you know what I mean? Big shout out to L, So, he said, man, what we got to do is, he said, we got to take a public defender, go to trial. We're going to blow trial. We're going to blow trial even with a paid lawyer, because the deck's stacked. They're not going to give them no evidence, no nothing. And then use our money instead of for trial for appeal. You know what I mean? But don't waste your money on the trial. But, I wasn't trying to hear that. You know what I mean? I went ahead and got a paid lawyer. You know what I mean? Still blew trial. You know what I mean? So he was right in that aspect, but I beat a couple of charges. I just wasn't comfortable going in with no public defender. You know what I mean? I brought my own lawyer down from New York. You know what I mean? That was official. But then I took a public defender for Virginia. You know what I mean? Because you had to have local counsel. So my New York lawyer going to do the work anyway. He don't need no other lawyer. But the way the system works is if you coming from down there and you don't have a license to practice in Virginia, you got to have a registered lawyer in Virginia. So I know I'm going to lose, so I'm not going to pay no big-time lawyer in Virginia another $80,000, $100,000 when I know I'm going to lose. So I just took the public defender for the local face. I think they call it pro havoc. You know what I mean? When it's a lawyer that got their license to work down there, and then your lawyer that don't have a license work down there is working through that lawyer. So that's how we did that. But I went up in there, man, I blew trial. And as I'm going, I'm seeing what they doing. You understand? But the morning before they took me to trial, I'm going to do a whole nother video on what happened the morning, what I felt like when I was going to trial. But anyway, so I go in there, they blow trial, I blow trial, and it was like when they read the verdict, I wasn't shocked. You know what I mean? I wasn't shocked, but I really thought I could have beat it. You know what I mean? Because the case was all over the place. Every time the witnesses got up there, and said something, my lawyer went and cross-examined them and said, and had them saying something else. So I'm thinking that's going to help. But bottom line is those Virginia people, they already had it in their mind. City Boy came down there selling all them drugs, and they showing pictures of the club, the naked women on stage, the jewels and everything else. So, the cars. So, we didn't have a chance. You know what I mean? But they found me guilty. And when they read the verdict, it was like, a lot of people might say their heart stopped, things like that. But none of that really happened because I already knew the fix was in, thanks to my man L that went to trial before me, and my man France and Jean Oscar that also went to trial before me. So they explained to me how the prosecutor played games and cheat, and that we ain't got a chance to win, and even the lawyers is down with the prosecutors. So, I'm saying all this so you youngins out there and you older people out there that's doing crime know that these people don't play fair. Somebody said in one of my comments today on the video I put out today about Dickie Lynn and Adnim Syed, said, oh, the government don't play fair, so, why should we, why should we play fair? That they was going to tell. You can't compare yourself with the government unless you're just a rat. You're just a government witness. You know what I mean? If you with the government, you with the government. But you can't say you're a criminal and then compare yourself to the government. You expect them to cheat. Because if you could cheat to win, you're going to cheat to win. You know what I mean? But that don't mean cut corners and bring your brother in. You understand what I'm saying? And that's what a lot of people get mixed up. But I'm not going to get on that topic right now. I just wanted to be known that just the way I felt, man, it was like crazy because my pride was up. It was just all pride at the time. You know what I mean? My chest up. I'm feeling like, don't let them see you sweat. Take it like a man. You know what I mean? It's like you standing there and, you waiting for somebody to punch you in the face and you can't flinch. You understand what I'm saying? You just got to take it to show them that you're man enough to take it. You know what I mean? That's how I felt when they gave me my, when they read the verdict. You know what I mean? I just, I took it. I didn't want the jury to see me, and I didn't want them to see me, or none of that. You know what I mean? Now, if they would have said not guilty, who knows what I would have did. But once they said guilty, and I know I'm getting ready to go in this system and go to fight, man, I couldn't let them see me being weak, man. But that's why I tell the youngins, don't get involved so you don't have to put yourself in that situation, because you can't imagine what it was like for me to hold myself together. You understand what I'm saying? While I'm hearing these people saying guilty and I know I'm getting ready to get life. This ain't even a sentencing. This is just at the trial phase. You know what I mean? This is just at the trial phase. So don't say I didn't tell you, man. I'm not going to keep you here all day with that. I just wanted to tap in real quick and just give you a quickie, man. But, it is what it is. You know what I mean? It's Friday. Enjoy your weekend. Make sure you cop the book of Rowan Harlem at rowanharlem.com. Make sure you subscribe and like the video. Oh, yeah. And tap in to Unique Mecca Audio TV. I'm going to put up some prison stories that y'all haven't seen yet over there, and some prison lives where I interviewed other men and women that was in the prison system. They over there at Unique Mecca Audio TV at YouTube. Unique Mecca Audio TV at YouTube is where I'm going to put my live prison videos at, and I'm eventually going to start holding the lives from over there instead of over here to take up room. You know what I mean? And just give you, the jewels over here. So remember, like I'm telling you, don't get involved in crime. Don't do it. It's not worth it. End the story. And go cop the book of Rowan Harlem. All right? Like and subscribe this joint, man.
Cheers. Cheers. Toast the crime. Toast the crime. The crime. The crime. The crime.
Fresh out the can of 26, Heat back on the strip, getting back in the mix. What he mentions a gift. You stand up 10 toes down, and I suggest you pay attention to this. Real. Take a little gully posse and put it in Harlem. He cut from the bottom, came up from the bottom. Drop the book, you should go and get it. The Instagram page and the YouTube, you could go and visit. Then you could consider yourself LinkedIn. Sit front row and get Jews from a kingpin. How he went through it, so you ain't gotta go do it. To not pay attention would be stupid. Talking about a man man that probably put your grandfather on. Probably the reason that him and your grams got along. A man that generated millions on the block, did his time, never squilling to the cops, Mecca audio. Get it live like 2 G's in the 90s. Drop top beamer so shiny. I let shorty go, she was whining. Treat her like my past, she behind me. Spend a couple bands on the Dapper Dan. You be back again, getting green like a Packers fan. No cap, it's a roaring uptown. They be horn uptown, Dominican bust downs. Now we on the positive, we got a lot to give. Now he trying to stop the kids from being inoperative. So take heed, homie, lend a ear. He started in uptown, he gon' finish dead. But now it ain't about selling drugs, buying cars. It's about buying property to make the community ours. So we can give back to the youth them. Cause they the truth them. And bless up to all the rudiments.